Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Cujo06241's Sports Vlog. I am your host, Justin Crumley, and I've got a great show planned for you today. Now, I know I didn't do a show last week. Let me explain that a little. I didn't really have a lot to really talk about. I mean, I had like the Pro Bowl, the NHL All Star game, and I don't know, a couple other things. That was about it, really. I didn't have any Red Wings news to talk about. I didn't really have much Pistons news to really talk about. So I just didn't see the point. So that's why I didn't upload a vlog last week. I decided to wait, put it off a week, and it did me some good. I got to do a lot of things. Apply for some jobs. Work on my short film, 13 Years a Patriot, which I urge you guys to watch if you haven't already. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, well, I already did a video on this, but I'm just going to mention it again because I love mentioning it. Patriots win the Super Bowl. Booyah! Yes! Fuck yes! Woohoo! Oh man, that feels so good. Now I'm not going to get too in depth of the game. In fact, I'm not even really going to talk much about the game at all because I already did that in video I did with my friends Josh, Arden, and Vinny, which can be found on my YouTube channel as well. It's called Super Bowl 49 Analysis. Actually, a little fact: as I'm making this video, I'm uploading that video right now. Just thought you might want to know a little something. I do want to talk about some things about the parade. I know there were a lot of signs, taunting the Seahawks, taunting Deflategate, and you know, I know I'm all for respecting your opponent, but and I'm not saying this because I'm a Pats fan. I'm not trying to sound like I'm making excuses, but I didn't really see the big deal in a lot of those signs and whatever because they were mostly fan made. One that's causing a big stink is Julian Edelman holding up the sign of Richard Sherman like this, and it says, "How many rings does Birdie have?" Now that one, I don't really see why people are throwing such a fit because Richard Sherman, this whole like pre Super Bowl week, shooting his mouth off all the time. He's on the sideline going 2-4, which was taunting Darrelle Revis. I don't give a shit what anyone says. He was not saying, we got 24. No, he was taunting Darrelle Revis. So you know what? In my opinion, he kind of opened himself up for that. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Richard Sherman. I really do. I think he's a damn good football player, a really good athlete. I got nothing but the utmost respect for him, but I'm not going to deny it, guys. He kind of had that coming. The way I look at it, when you shoot your mouth off, you open yourself up for that kind of stuff. Another one that's causing a bit of a ruckus is LeGarrette Blount holding up a bitch mode shirt. Now, that's where I'm going to say I think that one was a little excessive. I think that, I don't know, that didn't sit right with me. I'm not going to hate the Patriots. I'm not going to call them a classless organization or anything like that. It was one player doing one thing. But again, when you taunt, you open yourself up for that. And I mean, I like Marshawn Lynch as well. I think it's stupid that he gets fined for a lot of things. That's football for you. That's sports in general. Taunting happens, tempers flare, and whatever. What I do want to say though is for Seahawks fans to be calling Patriots fans and the Patriots classless and shit. I'm sorry, but you guys don't got much room to talk. Uh, like I said before, Sherman was mouthing off all week. Who was the one that started the fight at the end of Super Bowl 49? And don't you freaking tell me it was Rob Gronkowski, because it wasn't. I just feel like, for Seattle fans to be bitching and moaning about a little trash talking at a parade, and I've actually seen some comments saying, like, oh, they're idiots. They act like they won the game. We did. The New England Patriots won the Super Bowl. I don't give a shit that it was because Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, whoever made a bad call. I really don't care. Guess what? Malcolm Butler made an interception. Patriots won the game. Get over it. All right, guys. Now that I'm done ranting and saying all kinds of nasty things about people, doing what I do best, I'm just going to end my football half of the segment for now because there is no more football. There isn't going to be much for me to talk about. I could get into Michigan's recruiting today, which really good. I'm actually quite happy with how Michigan did. I would have loved to have seen Iman Marshall. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that, but you can't get them all. We did get a couple of good running backs, though. Tyrone Wheatley Jr. and Karan, I forgot his last name, but we got a couple of good running backs. We got two good quarterbacks, two four-star quarterbacks. I mean, Michigan, they got a three-star cornerback. They did some really good today with the recruiting. Before I move on to baseball, I'd like to have a little bit of a recap. I'm going to talk mostly about New England, Seattle, and Detroit. New England and Detroit because they're my two teams, and I still like Seattle. They are my, like Seattle and Detroit kind of bounce between my second and third favorites, but I'd like to give a little recap, starting with the Detroit Lions. This was a season that I honestly would not have expected, that I didn't expect. I didn't think that Jim Caldwell would have done all that good in his first year, because I wasn't too fond of him, I'll admit. But he really proved me wrong. Took the Lions to an 11-5 season, which was beyond expectations. And he took us to the playoffs, and well, we just came up short. There's nothing else to say. I'm not going to rant about the call because I've already done that, and it's over and done with. There's no point in talking about it. I would say the future is definitely looking very bright. Any off-season news on the Lions, I will bring to you guys when I get it. Now to comment on the Seahawks a bit. The Seahawks came into the season with all the momentum in the world, and I was actually really happy with them. I wanted them to win the Super Bowl against the Broncos, Super Bowl 48. They had a lot of hype coming into the season. Obviously, the only guy they really lost was Brandon Browner, and I mean, he was replaceable. At least to them, he was. And Brandon Browner ended up in New England. But anyway, Seattle had a lot of hype, and at first they didn't look like they were living up to it. I mean, they lost to Dallas. They were like, I think 2-2 at one point. They just didn't look like they'd be able to repeat, to pull it off. But they got hot at the end of the season. The defense really woke up, and they ended up they made it pretty far, and they made it to the Super Bowl. I know I was kind of ranting on Seahawks fans earlier, but now that I've kind of calmed down a bit, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you guys have nothing to be ashamed of. You lost on one bad play, and the fact that you even made it, that you repeated, you're the first team to repeat since New England to, appear in consecutive Super Bowls since New England. You guys should be proud. Seattle had a really good season, and although they're facing some heavy priorities in the offseason, namely Byron Maxwell is a free agent. I believe Richard Sherman might have to get Tommy John surgery. I think Earl Thomas is a free agent too. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But he has to get surgery as well on his shoulder, I think. I heard. And now you got Cam Chancellor, who might need knee surgery. So, and you also got Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch, I think, heading into the last year of their contracts. You guys are probably going to sign Marshawn Lynch back for sure, and probably Russell Wilson. I'd be awfully surprised if you didn't. But anyway, so yeah, Seattle really broke through. They lived up to their expectations, and they came close. They really did. But in the end, Patriots won. Now I'm going to end this part by talking about the Patriots. There was a lot of question coming into the season. They picked up Revis, they picked up Browner, Brady coming off of a season where he was looking like age was catching up to him, and it just didn't look good. And when they got blown out 41-14 by Kansas City, that's when everybody just kind of abandoned them. Said this team's done. They're not good anymore. Even Trent Dilfer said that, which I'm not really a big fan of. But they picked themselves up. They got their shit together, and they won it all. Their fans, we all stuck by them. I'm not taking any credit for what they did, but as a loyal Pats fan, I will say I never gave up on them. I never will. It's like I said in my short film. If you haven't seen it yet, this is probably a bit of a spoiler. I've been a Pats fan for 13 years, and I'm looking forward to the future. All right. Well, now that that's over, I hope you guys enjoyed the NFL and college football seasons. I could go over Michigan's season in college football, but I won't because I don't want to remember that. I don't want to remember that kind of crap. So, yeah, sorry. I will swallow my pride, though, and say congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes for winning the national championship. They earned it. Time to move on. All right, I have some baseball news for you. Unfortunately, it's not good. Former Tigers infielder Dave Bergman, who I believe played first base for the Tigers in '84, he died of cancer at the age of 61. It's a terrible thing to lose somebody to cancer again. It's just been too much, and all I can say is, my thoughts, my sympathies, and my condolences go out to Dave Bergman and his family. May he rest in peace. Let's talk some hockey. Now, I'm not sure when this all dates back. It's been a couple of weeks since I've, done a vlog. So just bear with me here. I'm going to do a Red Wings recap. I'm going to go as fast as I can because I don't want this video to be too long. Red Wings beat the Panthers 5-4. They finally snapped that losing streak against Florida, and they extended their winning streak to 6 games. Now, at the time, they advanced to first place in the Atlantic Division with 65 points. Until the next game against Tampa Bay. They got blasted 5-1. They fell behind. Montreal took their spot at second. So, now this is all at the time. I don't know what the current standings are right now. All I know is Detroit did not play a good game. Cedric Paquette got his first career hat trick. I just want to say, though, that game really proved that Peter Mrazek is just not ready to be a full-time starting goalie. I mean, he's young. He's like 22 years old. It would just be stupid to think that he is. That goes to the Howie haters. Yeah, that's right. I got a name for you people that hate Jimmy Howard. I'll tell you this. Jimmy Howard is a big reason that Detroit's penalty kill is even top 10. Because with Mrazek in the net, their penalty kill was absolute garbage. I'm not blaming all that on Peter Mrazek, but I will say this. With Jimmy Howard, it's been a lot better. Jimmy Howard is the goalie. Peter Mrazek is going to be his backup next year. Nothing else to say, really. All right, real fast. The Red Wings destroyed the Islanders 4-1 this past Saturday. That was really awesome. And actually, the Red Wings recalled Alexei Marchenko for that game, and they sent Xavier Ouellet down, and they waived Brian Lash off, thank God. I was really excited to see Alexei Marchenko, a right-handed shooting defenseman, which is something Detroit has needed. And, yeah, he didn't score any goals, but he played pretty well. I mean, for a rookie. well, a Grand Rapids Griffin player, AHL player. He did pretty good. I was really happy with what I saw. I hope to see him around in the future. As far as sending Xavier, they actually recalled Xavier Ouellet and Jonas Gustafsson up today, and they sent Tom McCollum down. So yeah, I expected all that to happen. I just find it funny how the Wings are basically avoiding using Jakob Kindl, which I'm all for because Jakob Kindl freaking sucks. So does Brian Lashoff, which is why I wasn't mad at all that they waived him. Whatever. You want to win a cup, you can't have players that are slacking. All right, time to move on to the last segment of this installment. Little Detroit Pistons recap. Any game before January 27th, I didn't document. So, yeah. All right, anyway, Pistons lose to the Cavaliers 103-95. That's okay. The Cavaliers have been really good lately. They finally realized that they have like an all-star team, and they're starting to win games. They lost to the 76ers 89-69. No comment there. They beat the Rockets though, 114-101. And then they last night they beat the Heat 108-91. And just now they lost to the Pacers 114-109. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but oh well, what are you going to do? It is what it is. Something really bad happened. I think this happened before I think I know I said I wasn't going to document anything before January 27th. I don't know when this happened, but Brennan Jennings tore his Achilles tendon. And it was against the Bucks. It was against the Milwaukee Bucks. So yeah, it was before January 27th. He tore his Achilles tendon against the Milwaukee Bucks, and he's out for the season. That's a huge loss for the Pistons. However, I still think that they could make a run at playoffs. At the playoffs, excuse me. I still think they can make a run at the playoffs. So, yeah. I mean, big deal, but we can manage, is what I'm saying. Time for a little college basketball recap, which is Michigan. I only have 2 games for you. Michigan beat Nebraska 58-44, and they lost to Michigan State in overtime. I don't remember what the score was. I was so pissed off that I just didn't even bother recording it. So, yeah. My bad. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. Sorry I took a week off. I didn't really have anything to report, and I didn't want to just sit here in front of a camera and talk about nothing. I will be back next week with some more topics to talk about. Hopefully, some good news. Until then, I urge you guys to check out my Super Bowl 49 analysis video that I did with my friends. Like I said, we were a little drunk. So that's so you just kind of got to bear with us. We do make a couple of mistakes in the video. I tried my best to correct them. So yeah, just bear with us. I also urge you guys to check out my short film, 13 Years a Patriot, that is on my channel. As always, guys, have a great day. This is Cujo06241, signing out.